Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're back on YouTube. Let's see if we can connect to Twitch. I'm going to start Twitch. And it works in OBS. And let's see. Okay, we're on Twitch. And just for fun, gonna see if this works for Twitter. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're on Twitter too. Alright, cool. This is great. My scene's kind of janky. I have a blank top right corner because I expected to have one of those OmniChat things figured out by now where everyone could see their messages, but no one's going to be watching these streams, so it doesn't matter that much. And let's see. We have, yeah, still just getting things set up here. We have to have all of this in the right area. I'll move this to this station. Okay. Yeah, that's working fine too. And I should move this over here. Go here, move this over here. And it looks like my audio is working. I'm just gonna believe that it is. Is anyone out there? Does anyone know if my audio is working? I see some number of viewers. One viewer on Twitch. And it looks like the X stream is glitching, but I don't know if it's just the UI or if it's something else. I guess you can also set the names of your streams. So I don't see where to do that on YouTube. Maybe you had to do it before you were streaming. Yeah, like on Twitch, there's let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, maybe I can edit this guy. I can make that take up a bit more space. I wonder, I don't have a reliable way to mute myself when I'm out and about, do I? Maybe this works. Am I muted now? No, I'm not muted. Am I muted now? Nope. Am I muted now? No. Because if I'm walking around, I've got this lav mic. If I'm walking around, I want to be able to mute myself. But I don't think there's nothing for that. That would have been kind of cool to have a mute button. But that can be figured out later. And I think I saw something. Someone said to just write down notes of ideas while you're streaming so you can fix them for next streams. It's going to be a lot of things I need to fix for next stream. Yeah. Mute mic on the go. Because I have these waters and stuff. You guys don't need to hear me drink water. You guys aren't even out there, so it's not actually that big a deal. Let's see. So I guess I could just get started. Today I was going to do assembling of Desk Buddy, a stationary robot arm. And yeah, I've got it right here. I've already kind of started assembling it. Move this. Now you guys can see me. Cool. And then yeah, this is Desk Buddy. Get this a bit more squared. Actually, yeah, okay. Oh, cool. That's my cat's litter box. Oh, it needs to be lined up on stream. I'll fix that. Maybe. Got this all on a standing desk, so I can lift it up and down. I don't want to go too low because it's annoying to work at a desk with like a low surface. I've got my hardware right here. This is ESP32. It's what we use to power Desk Buddy and control them. But I've already got it hooked on to the base here. And yeah, maybe some other time I'll walk through how the base works and stuff. I preemptively put this black servo on, so I'm actually going to take this off. I need to hold this thing still. Probably just get started with the assembly for this, and then check back in with what the stream looks like if I'm even, yeah, I'm in the shot. Put this over here. Yeah. So this black surface nests right in. And I have this square washer that I use to help stabilize the servo from the other side. See, there's these like pillars where, you know, help stabilize the black servo. That one fits in right there. I'll just sneak this back on so that that square washer doesn't fall out. And it fell out. Take two. Okay, nice, that's in. Here's some rattling, but no, it should be fine. I've got some of these other 3D printed parts over here. This is what we call the bicep. It's going to go on right here. The you know, the servo driver's right here, and then that square washer I just put on the other side. It's over there. servos come with like horns. These are the things that are used to connect to the like the driving gear part of the servo. And so yeah, I haven't done this in forever, and I've also only done it a couple times. The other hacker twin has been going nuts designing the robot arm, so I've been doing mostly software stuff. So I'm not going to be good at this. That's about right. Like that. It's not nesting on as nice as I wanted to. I'll take this off. There's something on the computer. Let me see what's up with this. Okay. I know, all's fine on the computer. And yeah, my microphone's still working. Okay, cool. What's not fine is the strategy that I'm using to connect this horn. This might not be the right horn. I have a couple different servos here. This is like a metal gear coming off this one. This one's a white plastic. So, it's like a standard size servo. I think the horns are technically different. Let me see. Yeah, this one's a little better. I mean, they seem to be like the same horn. I think what's happening here is there's, some distortion that will happen when you print something. So the hole in the bicep here is not allowing the horn to nest in it. I could probably push really hard or push harder or try harder, be stronger. It's doing a little better, but even this upper part of the horn is not really going in here the way I want. This is actually the way it goes. That's why I cut the part of the horn here. So there's a couple different things I can do. I can use a file, but because it's plastic and because I'm lazy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a hot glue gun. I'm going to let it get real hot, and I'm going to just press it up against this plastic to make it soft and squishy so that I can shove this in. Yeah, I think that's going to be the do. So let me plug in my hot glue gun. Got all sorts of stuff. Hope I don't trip a breaker. I don't think I will. So the glue gun is cooking. We'll just leave that right there and see what's going on in the world. Here, we can go back over here. While the hot glue gun's getting warm, I can check my systems. Yeah, it looks like we're live everywhere. And I can just while waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up. Oh, yeah, there we go. I can share my screen. I can I guess it always shows your bookmark bar. Monkey type. Oh no, unexpected downtime. Merch store. Silver. Picture. Accept. River. Study. chart with yellow children. It's pretty bad. Also, another thing I like to do while waiting for stuff to load is rip a game of Pokemon. And the hot glue gun's not really loading, but it's essentially the same thing. Just have to wait for something. I guess I can make this bigger. Oh yeah, that's it. We can actually, I don't know. This is perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm gonna explosion to kill this Blissey, because Blissey's real tough. Oh, that's not good. I don't want to be frozen. I guess I have to hope I just defrost. I think I'm just gonna lose. Because getting frozen is pretty brutal in Pokemon. 10% chance. And I don't have a really good solution for defeating this guy. So I'll get rid of the sand. Okay, this is not going to work. Maybe the hot glue gun is ready now. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you can see the glue is starting to melt on there. Just the universal sign of it being hot. So I'll just check this again because, you know, it's be a bit risky molding the plastic because you can't go back from it if you make a mistake. So I'll just, and also I don't want to apply any hot glue because that will add additional complications. The whole point is we're trying to create space, not like we're trying to move material away, not add material towards where we are. But yeah, that should be heating it up pretty good. I could definitely smell it. It's a little better. Oh yeah, there we go. You can feel it working, you can smell it working. I'm going to be using tiny screws to help keep this horn on too, so even if I remove a little more than I'd like to, it's probably going to be fine. Not quite there yet. Yeah, I'll also be moving this hot glue gun away from my hand so that I don't get hurt. Unexpected issues. Still not quite there. I think I'm not seeing something exactly. I'm gonna try and increase the diameter of this hole. Oh yeah, it worked effectively. Yeah, it's getting snagged on something that I'm not quite seeing. This corner can be manipulated a little bit. This upper corner can be molded up a little bit. Yeah, let's see how this does. This is really taking a while. I don't think, I've never had it this bad before. It's possible that my print jumped here because it is kind of way rougher looking than I'd expect it to be. A lot of the other parts worked fine. So each of these gears right here on the base, they each required a horn. And they just popped in, no problem. Really the only part I had to manipulate was the slip ring down in the center here. I can show you what a slip ring, what they look like. So here's one of the slip rings we use. This guy right here. And right now, the way that the base is designed, we rip off the plate. Is, you know, depending on your project, you know, the plate's very useful. It allows you to mount the slip ring to something, but we really just press it in, so we don't need that bit of material. Let's check something over here. Yeah, it's interesting. The Twitter stream is like glitching like crazy from what it looks like. I have this scene that's sharing my screen, like flashing in is what it looks like. And I'm not even playing Pokemon anymore, so I don't really understand how it's flashing like that. It's kind of nuts. But I might just stop streaming on Twitter and try and fix it some other time. Or maybe I'll refresh the stream. I might have to, yeah, I might have to just investigate that later because it looks like it's stopped. So, all right, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I can feel the heat coming off the hot glue gun from here. I'm just gonna cause some serious changes. And I said I wasn't gonna push the hot glue gun towards me, but you know, that's like cutting away from yourself. It's actually propaganda from the Boy Scouts to prevent people from using knives as good as them because they want to be the best at doing everything. So, you know, don't listen to them. You can cut towards yourself however you like. Yeah, that definitely did it on this one side. And now I need to morph the other side. Oh yeah, that's... Geez, I'm like molding this like Play-Doh now. Don't even need to 3D print it. Just morph it with my hands. You know, I say that, but it's still not going in. It's pretty annoying. But I think it's enough now where... No, it's not enough. It should really just click in. It should be that simple. I have to... Oh my gosh, there it is. Ready? Ready? Can you hear this, chat? Oh, now it doesn't do it. Well, you know, maybe it's not going to click again. Did anyone hear it the first time? Is anyone listening? No? Well, it clicked the first time, but now it's like too hot or too soft or something. So it's not going to click again. But while we're here, I'm going to screw this bad boy down. I'm going to unplug this hot glue gun. And I hope I don't forget about that. It doesn't take too long for them to cool down. I don't think. Yeah, let's screw this guy on. I just have all of my screws here. this in. Kind of messed up the pilot holes doing that hot glue gun nonsense. So many random screws here from other projects. Part of what we're going to be doing soon is getting the bill of materials ready or figured out for this project, so I can have a clean list of what it takes to assemble a desk buddy. And I'd really like to get it down to the hardware. So none of it should be mysterious. It should be fully spec'd out. You should know exactly everything you need to assemble this thing, and even what steps or what order to go in when putting it together. Oh yeah, this is a little better. That screw is actually too long. I shouldn't have used that one. That's fine. This one looks good. And something I need to do is I should have the servo at a predictable angle, something like 90 degrees or 180 degrees or something, so that I can, you know, have it like more sensibly calibrated with predictable numbers. But my servo tester is upstairs. Should really have everything at this workstation down here. And another thing is that, you know, this mount on the other side that we installed, that square bracket, it's there because this bearing will get plugged in here, and it'll make it super smooth and very supportive and strong. Have a bearing. But you know what? That's not pressing in either. I'll have to figure out what went wrong. My prints here. But this isn't too bad. So I've got this hole. Got my handy dandy glue gun. Let's make it a bit bigger. Real simple like. It's so close to fitting, I should be able to just press it in. All right, I'm gonna give it another shot. Just a little bit of heat. Oh man. All right, one more, a little bit of heat. Oh geez, that was a lot of heat. Oh no. Oh, but that's fine. You know, because I'm really only coming at it from the one side of the hole. So the other side is is like relatively the same shape as when it was printed. So I'll just use these flat needle nose pliers and give it a clamp instead of my weak human fingers. Wow, okay. It really still doesn't want to go in. It's kind of crazy. It's like printed way off. And we're just on the struggle bus right now. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, chat, but that just went in. We get to finally move to the next step. It only took forever. Did a good job to keep my workspace clear as I work. So it'll devolve really quickly. So I'll sneak this on. Oh yeah, I remember I was using servo to hold that in place. So much for that. Let's just get this. You know, you really shouldn't like force it like this, or I don't know if it matters or not so much. But you can see this is not a good position to have the servo in, because it'll drive into the base. So I've got it set to, like, you know, either 0 or 180 degrees. I don't remember half the time which one's which. And I'll just take this off. And now, you know, at that, you know, extreme position to either like left or right or 0 or 180, I'll just have, yeah, I'll have it relatively straight up in the air. And then we have logic on the firmware for the code side of things to prevent you know, Dust Buddy from smacking into himself. And it doesn't really need to, you can see here, if I just place this kind of in line, you can see that kind of like tilting back a bit. It doesn't really need to slingshot that far back. And if it does, I can just take it apart and put it back together. So yeah, let's put this little square washer in. I'm gonna slip that around here. Nice, that worked really well. Okay. So now, yeah, I'm gonna unplug the hot glue gun. It's starting to feel the heat from over here. And, you know, this guy uses, it's gonna need M3 hardware. Just bought a new pack of stuff recently. So I would like to use the correct size hardware. You can kind of just guess and check with some of the stuff I have. I could probably use a strategy with some kind of like lock nut mechanism, something like that. But you can see here, I just used like an M3 machine screw, put it in there just fine. It's super duper connected to this base now. And you see these like legs that are holding this table for this black servo. They're not super thick or big. There's probably some improvements we can make for that, especially with the PCB. We've like went back and forward on the PCB design a bunch of times, and there's, you know, lots of improvements we're still going to make. So, you know, we can cover up like a lot of this side right here. We actually don't need this so open. Something like, I don't know, that looks like over 10 millimeters, right? Yeah, there's so much light there. Okay, cool. Well, I've done one thing in 30 minutes. Fantastic. Next, so we have the bicep driving here. And you know, actually, I'm going to screw the bicep on to the base, because it is on the base now that I've done the bearing, but there are these holes here to connect the black servo. And you know what I can do too? I can cheat. I have this powered screwdriver. I can use this. Makes it a lot easier. and I have washers and lock washers and lock nuts, but I don't really need to use a lock nut here. I could just use a washer and a lock washer. So that's there. Well, I'm getting desperate. I really should just go find my pack of hardware, because I'm just searching through scraps. And I don't need to be. I don't have to do this to myself. Here's my big pack of hardware. It's all of the M3 stuff has been pillaged because we're using M3 hardware for the majority of this project. And so it's a lot of the bolts have been all used up, or like the screws. But there should be washers in here. Washers and lock nuts. And then, yeah, and then I bought a new pack. Like I said, this is my old pack of supplies. Bought a new one, and I don't know where it is still. So there's still more adventuring that I have to do. You know, I'm just gonna hold this with the old finger and see how it does. See if the old finger can handle this one. Nope, my finger's weak. Come on. I'm just gonna hold this. The needle nose. It doesn't need to be too tight. The Black Server does a pretty good job of just clipping in and being held through friction from the post sticking up. I don't want to make it too tight, so I don't need to crack the PLA. Oh yeah, that is quite powerful. I will do one on this other side, because why not? Oh my gosh, I have a chat. I have a couple chats. Super Matter. Oh, that's not what that says. Super Rad Maker. Okay, I need to increase the font size. That's embarrassing. Yeah. We are making Desk Buddy. We're assembling Desk Buddy. Desk Buddies are stationary robot arm that goes on your desk. He's really cool. We've been working on him for a while. My brother, my hacker twin brother, and I been looking for projects to work on, and we've done a couple of different wacky things. And recently we landed on Desk Buddy to just kind of go as far as we feel like taking it. Geez, I don't have any M3 washers in this pack. I need to find my pack of M hardware. It's got to be somewhere. It's got to be one of these things. I just cleaned the background of my workshop to do this stream, which means I've lost everything. I just found it. This is fantastic. But otherwise, yeah, everything's completely lost. Oh yeah, and Kendall McLean heard the horn get clicked in. That's great. Is my intelligence high enough to open this without it spraying everywhere? I already cut the tape. I've already used this thing multiple times. Okay, there we go. We're in. Yeah, hacking this container. Okay, get back to the task at hand. I need to put a washer on this. Then I need to put a lock washer. My claws are so thick. I need to just... You can do it. Oh, well, there goes my washer. I usually don't stream and do this. This is kind of embarrassing. You know, and now that I found my pack, I didn't have to do this to myself. I'm using a bolt that's too small because it's all I had, but it's not all I had. I found my other hardware, so I don't need to use this one. What is this? This is 10 millimeters long, 12 millimeters. Let's give ourselves a whole 10 more millimeters. How about that? 16 millimeters long. It goes on like this. Oh yeah, there's plenty of space. Look at that. I can put... Oh, you guys can't look at that. You can't see this whole time. Let me see if I can get this camera a little closer to the action. This is kind of unhinged. You can see the end of the table over there. Oh my gosh. It's like an earthquake is happening. And you know what? I'm going to write this down as a tip. Don't use black filament. It's hard to see on stream. I have so many lights. Like, you can see this is a gray pad here, and you can see this gray pen on this gray like silicone mat, but black PLA just absorbs all of the light. You can see my face, I'm like pitch white. My glasses are super reflected. This black PLA is just not gonna be good for streaming. Black PLA, not good. Okay, so where were we? We have our 16 millimeter screw. My fat claw can put a washer on, and now there's enough screw for it to not fall off instantly. Okay, my fat claw fails for the lock bolt or lock washer. Oh, it's on a slight angle, so I really have to put it on a couple rungs. Okay, we did it. If that falls off again, I'll just use the little tiny like needle nose pliers. Could hold it really good. But it shouldn't have come to that. It's just putting, you know, M3 hardwares don't usually have issues holding it down with my fingers. Just gonna do this guy by hand for a bit. Okay. There we go. Especially when working with like locking mechanisms, whether it's like a lock nut or a lock washer. You know, I'm not gonna like torque wrench this. I just have to use my lizard brain to figure out if it's on too tight or not, and feel and listen to it. And yeah, so that's on good, pretty good there. You see here, it's on pretty good. Here it's on good. We have extra holes just in case if we, you know, there's something that's distorted and, you know, it ought to be connected a different way, but this is going to be perfectly fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, so 45 minutes in, one thing done. A super rad maker asked me what's up, and I ignored him. And we're gonna keep going. Let's keep going forward. Let me clean up my little space here, and let's do the next thing. So the next step is to use one of these 270-degree servos right here, and this is gonna be what powers the wrist. And you know, if I'm organized enough, I can probably pull this up on FreeCAD and show you guys what it looks like. I'm gonna move my Move some of the stuff out of the way. Move my little notes. Ah, you know, that's a great thing. Yeah, like do everything from Tinker area. So I don't have my desk set up in a way where I can, where I can like access my computer and be in my Tinker area. Kind of need to optimize this for streaming rather than just tinkering. So, okay. So what was I going to do? I was going to show you guys what it looks like on FreeCAD. And by show you guys, I mean see what it looks like on FreeCAD so I don't fuck it up. Oh my gosh, my keyboard is not being level. Okay, we made it. So let me just make sure there's nothing unhinged on FreeCAD. Yeah, and sorry, Twitter, if your stream spazzes while I do this. Okay, cool. So this is FreeCAD. Yeah, just for fun, let's make all these visible. Let me show you guys what the desk video looks like. This is on GitHub right now, public repo, so you can check it out. But yeah, this is the whole Desk Buddy, and shout out to Jeff the Hacker Twin, not me, for designing essentially the whole thing, because it's really good and he's come really far with it. So what we're doing here is we're going to connect the servo, and you can see here there's a wrist gear. That's this guy. Well, that selects really good. You can see that just fine. So this is the wrist gear. This is going to drive the actual wrist. Where is it? Yeah, the wrist to tilt, and it's a 270-degree servo, so there's a really decent range compared to it just being 180, because you can really like clench in, you know, like the human wrist. Well, not this one. I have a childhood injury, so it doesn't have, that wrist actually doesn't work as well. But you know, that would be 180, like that. But you can kind of go in a lot more. And it's not this, I don't know, maybe that's not true for human wrists, but it's a robot. The whole point is it can, you know, you can design it to do things that humans can't. So yeah, so looking at this, I believe I have all that I need for this. I think I forgot to print out a couple parts, but at this rate, we're not even gonna get to the fingers. This is perfectly fine. You can see here, there's another part for a stabilizing bearing. Forgot the word for bearing there. And you can see here, there's another stabilizing bearing that will go there. So that's the plan. Now I guess I'll start by just getting the servo in there and the wrist gear. Wow, that was really fun to show you guys that. I'm sure y'all really enjoyed that. Someone message if they enjoyed it, right? Did anyone enjoy that? Geez, I'm looking at the messages and Twitter is just glitching so bad. I don't know if I'm making the stream go down and up again by refreshing it, but whatever. It's fine. Twitter's kind of dumb. Okay, cool. So no more procrastinating. I got to put this boy on. I think something also to consider before I get too far ahead is Desk Buddy has this camera. It's like camera on this film right here, and the camera gets nested up in this part of the bicep, and I'm about to install a servo in this area, and it's going to get kind of tight. So I might want to just slide this on now. And I hope that okay, so that's in there. Yeah, and it's just held on by friction. You know, I almost want to put like a piece of tape on it or something, just so that it doesn't get hurt or it doesn't slip out while I'm in the middle of working on it. And then, oh, is this? I don't know what category we're in for Twitch, but let's just make this ASMR category real quick. Alright, I've wasted too much tape on you guys. On you heathens. Jeez, I just wasted so much tape on that. I'll never financially recover from this. Cool. Yeah, and shout out to masking tape. It works so well for stuff, and it's so easy to come off. It's like, has that painter's tape kind of quality to it. And I just would never expect it to have worked so well. I've used it for things like labeling my bins. Let me show you guys. You know, like a little tangent. Oh, well, I have them all. I have my bins right here in front of me there. So you can see here. Look at this. Look at the me chat, not my Tinker table chat. Look at that. That's so great. And you can just write whatever you want. If you change your mind, oh man, it's actually not. This is my commercial for masking, or what is this? Yeah, my commercial for tape isn't coming out so well. Jeez, okay, never mind. They kind of get sticky and they suck, but those have been on there for like years. All right, so that's taped down. Let's just run this through and plug it in. Oh, it's upside down. Would you look at that? It was upside down. Run it in, plug it in, plug it in. Oh my gosh, chat, guess what? Guess what, chat? You'll never believe it. You ready? You ready, chat? It's not going in. It's not going in. We've been here before. And so, yeah, I'm probably just going to whip out the hot glue gun and hashtag make it work, because that's kind of annoying. I do have these files. We can huff glue, or we can huff. We can huff the PLA as a gas, or we can huff it as, you know, like shards, like dust in the air. I don't know which one's better for my bloodstream. I don't know which one gets it in me faster, but the file seems to be doing pretty good. And yeah, I can't always blame distortion on it. The part of this is coming from like webbing and other like jumps that the 3D printer nozzle head has to do. So it's not necessarily like just like printing wrong because the printer's bad. It's just it could be a number of things that I'll just have to troubleshoot that and figure it out. You know what's also wild? This could be the wrong servo. So this is the, which one is which? This is, yeah, this is it. This is the 280 servo, because it's, or the 270 servo. Yeah, this is like the little, like, this is just, I know that this is the 180 servo because it's white and cheaper, and the 270 ones are more expensive. Let me just gonna entertain myself. Oh my gosh, chat. Was I using the wrong server the whole time? Chat, have I completely embarrassed myself in front of the whole world? Let's see. Wow, I don't even know if I have a picture of Dust Buddy like laying around anywhere that I can use to reference this. Interesting. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can find something. Oh my gosh, this is so loud. Here, wait. Yeah, stream, do you want to see what I'm seeing? Let me show you stream. So I'm on YouTube and I'm just gonna watch our videos until I find how this gets connected. Yeah, this is me at a like a local fair, it's called Geek Fest or Nerd Force or something, and we're just playing with robots. And yeah, you can see here. I don't want to enhance with OBS because I'm not athletic enough to zoom in, but I promise you that. So that's actually the pink label one. So this one's actually the 360-degree servo, and this one is the 270, this dark one. You guys aren't even seeing what I'm talking about. Boom, this one right here. This is the 360. This one's the 270. I goofed. What we call that is a goof, and I goofed. So I'm gonna have to replace that other servo down there after this. But okay, let's get back to tinkering. But hey, yeah, that was useful to have that on YouTube to be able to recall what it should look like. I should probably know how the robot arm works, but you know, beggars aren't choosers. Yes, let me get this. Oh, you know what? What am I doing? This actually uses M2 hardware to bolt this guy on, which I actually have in my big pack. Which I hope I have, right? I have, yeah, M2. This bolt's crazy long. It doesn't need to be that long. But, you know, might be all I... Jeez, I just have random hardware. I'm going to write that down on my list. Buy M2 hardware. So I can build robots. Which is the whole point of this stream. Which is why all of you have come here today. To watch me build robots. Oh my gosh. Where are my M2 washers? I can probably get away with... You know, I remember these M2 washers being a bit tricky. They were not so great. They fit on the screw really tight. You have to like twist the screw off to get one of these washers off. I don't like that. And I use my fat claws for the M3. I'm definitely not using my fat claws for the M2. Gonna grab it with these pliers and just put it on. Look at that. a masterpiece. Yeah, this is an M3 lock nut. It's kind of annoying. I don't have any M2 lock nuts. It should work. I'm just gonna have to add another washer. Man, this is so hacky. This M3 lock washer, I keep calling them lock nuts or lock washers. It looks smaller than the other one. Geez, that's annoying. Well, it's already on my list to fix for next time. But yeah, I have M4 lock washers and M3 lock washers. I don't have M2 lock washers. I can beg my scraps to present one to me. Please, scraps. Please present me an M2 lock washer. It didn't. I don't think this is how Jeff had it designed before, so I'll have to bug that guy later too. He's probably watching. He's gonna flame me. He's gonna be like, "Mark, you don't know how to build the robot." I don't know how to build the robot. Chat, we're gonna all learn together. So I'm gonna put this on. Oh my gosh, it's so much bigger than it. It's so much bigger than it should be. Chat, what do you think? Should I give up? Should I give up and wait till I have the correct materials? Hell no. Hell no, I'm not gonna wait for the right materials. We're just gonna keep pushing through. We're gonna get this guy put together. It's gonna work just fine. That M3 lock washer is fitting on there just fine. Beautiful. You know, but I am a bit afraid, and I'm not gonna be too rough with this thing. There's a lot of space over here to work, so I'm probably just going to put that one on, and it's held on just fine. You can see here there's another spot. Nah, I should do it. I should really do it, because it could. No, you know, look how much clearing there is right here, right? There's a lot of clearing. I was a little afraid that I wouldn't be able to access the camera so much. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, I'm not going to use black PLA again. So, you know, getting the camera slid up there would have been annoying because the servo's in the way now. We can point it with these things. Servo in the way of the camera right here, the camera film. But this hole right here to put the other screw on, not in the way. Lots of space right here. So I'm going to go for it right now. We're going to do it. Jeez, my posture is terrible. Oh, my desk is up all the way? Oh my gosh. I might need to like do something about that. My desk needs to go higher. Because I'm looking down so much. I did have a workbench kind of a stool that I was using. So I could be seated. I could work on this from the seated position. I could sit down in a chair. But I'm so unorganized that I think I'm just gonna have to do this standing and do all this slouching. How are we doing time-wise? Yeah, so my plan was to just stream till 7. It'd be something like 20 minutes. 20 minutes left. Which is fine. I think I've got 0 viewers across the board right now. 1 on Twitch. But who knows who you are on Twitch. It could be me, that 1 viewer on Twitch. My electric screwdriver. This is not the right size. Oh yeah, that is definitely not the right size. Let me see if I can find the right size. Yeah, M2 hardware is pretty small. I'm just gonna have to do this by hand, and okay, now there you go. That's another one for the list. M2 hardware bit. Wow, my list already has 7 things on it. Yeah, the plan will be to stream again on Thursday, next Thursday. Oh, we've breached, so we're on the other side. I'm gonna use needle nose pliers. 1. And then maybe after, oh geez, I dropped it. Wow. New behavior. M2 is so much smaller than M3. See lots of memes on the internet about dropping M2 hardware. And I am living it right now. Lock washers M3, so my fat claws can do that one. And I'm just gonna YOLO. That seems to be mostly on there. Oh man. There we go. Really gonna hold this. Oh, you know, I could have had it positioned like this the whole time. Would have been a lot easier to see. Yeah, you know, I'm getting decent grippage just from the friction of the threads on the PLA. You guys can't really see this. Now, another thing for the list, I need the ability to zoom in really easy. Ability to zoom. Because I don't have the know-how on OBS to zoom in like in and out really quick. I use Arch to do all the streaming right now, and in OBS the like Option or Alt key is used to do a number of like modified behaviors, and I have my Alt key mapped to other stuff, so like it doesn't work in OBS. I need to just figure out what to do there. Okay, but yeah, we have that servo on, and I have my elbow gear. Got my elbow gear there. I can put this, lay it on its side. And there goes that washer. Use this tape. It's another commercial for tape. So you can see, look at that. That's brilliant, right? If I get those bearings in there for the wrist, it'll stabilize it really good. And then this one I've got printed in this tan PLA from a Dust Buddy a while back is for the Palm. But I made it a point to reprint every single part of this Dust Buddy just to be super sure I was working with the correct hardware. And so now, yeah, I'll go through my little scavenged horns, and shouldn't need too much manipulating here. This one's not so good. This is one of the horns that I've used for the Palm in the past. I can tell because of like how much of the horn is cut away. So I don't want to use that one. This is the one I use. This is actually a little too big. I might have to cut some of that away. I might be using that horn for something else. And this one, yeah, this one is not bad. This one will be the chosen one. And you know, it might be kind of tough to get a file in there. That's interesting too. Yeah, okay, so here's a great excuse. I'm possibly need to change the settings on my printer. Here we go. You can see here. Look guys, I figured out how to zoom in. You can see it's not quite, the camera's not focusing. It's a little more focused. That's kind of a pill shaped. That's not actually a circle. That needs to be a circle. So our good friend the hot glue gun is going to come back in and help us out here. Going to plug them in. I'm going to give it a little bit. Yeah, I don't recommend like touching it, but I could just like tap it really quick with my fingernail, and it's like, it's not warm at all. So I'm gonna let this heat up, and while we're waiting for that to heat up, gonna give chat some love. Hi chat. It's just me. It's just me watching myself stream. I love it. And yeah, let me see. If there's, let me see how this looks. All right, yeah, that's me. I'm just like viewing myself live. It's kind of funny. Wow. Well, at least the stream's working. Am I right? Am I right, everyone out there? All right. Well, it feels a little warmer. Let's try and press this in. See how it goes. It's doing something. I don't want to do it too much. Yeah, I'm just trying to make these corners where the horn gets connected a bit smoother, a bit smoother, less rough, because the horn is having issues going in. So let's see how that goes. Not quite. Let me flip it around. Yeah, the horn's getting stuck there. So, you know, I have a bit of flexibility here. I think I can really get away with moving a lot of this material out of the way. We're going to be screwing the horns in too. So I think there's a lot of flexibility. And I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting with my 3D printer. I think an issue I have is that I'm in my basement and I don't have a dehumidifier set up for my PLA. So it can get my basement will also, like it's not like a super dry basement. So my PLA has probably got too much moisture in it, and moisture is not good for PLA. Let's probably get one of those dehumidifier cases for it. Just another thing. Yeah, I've got these clamping style. Oh man, that one side clicked in, but then the other one popped out. Yeah, it's not quite there yet. Gonna have to really move some of this material around. Okay. That is so much closer to working. Well, I'm pretty disappointed in how much distortion there is. And yeah, I can see that, yeah, even this hole right here, where the drive, oh my gosh, I made it significantly bigger. I should just slide right in. I made it bigger, but it's not what it needed to be on the one side. Let's try and give it a little pressy press. Probably bang on it with my rubber mallet's outside, so I'm using that for my pool pump, and a lot of PVC. I'm trying to use the back end of this screwdriver. Well, that didn't go flying, so. Alright, very, very caveman stream today. So, come to just smacking things with the butt end of a screwdriver. But it worked. And that's what matters. That's what it means to be a hacker. So yeah, that drive gear is pretty much on. It's a bit funky. This is the wrong machine screw. Yeah, it's a bit funky, but I think it's gonna be fine. This screw here is going to do a lot of the work. Okay. Oh, maybe that was too tight. All right, hear that? Maybe you don't hear it. Maybe you do hear it. But that's on. And okay, yeah, now the next step is the upper stage. So here, let me back up. I can actually move this camera. And now that we're coming further with the assembly process, the like my working space and the camera are getting a lot closer to each other. Is that even? No, it's not even. That's a little more even. Sorry, chat, if it's not even and crazy looking. Okay, so we have this guy's on, this guy's on. The next step will be to attach the gear here. See, there's like a lot of, this print did not come out well at all. I'm gonna have to clip some of this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna clean this up a bit, and then I'm going to put the servo in so that I have a better and more accurate representation for how it's gonna sit in there. Okay. Great. This one gets a 180-degree servo. We know what those look like now. Goes on like this. From there, we have the twist drive, which will go on like this. And this is what will be used to drive the twist wrist, which is pretty neat. We'll see how that turns out, because yeah, I don't. See, I've had a bit of distortion, and you know, the theme of today is that nothing works, and so yeah, that's also not going to fit in there. So I'm probably going to fix this after I'm done streaming, but as it goes for today, this is working out. Oh, I see, it was over my face. Gotta screw this guy in here. Screw this other one in. You know what? This screw is kind of stripped. I'm going to throw it away. Don't need stripped screws. This one's working much better. All right, well, that's on. And now let's get these bearings in. This is my handy dandy assemble the robot arm tool. Some massage in there. That might be good. It might go in now. Yeah, look at that. Nice, we're in. And now the other side. Might just hit. Really didn't need much help there. So hit it with a file lightly to like deburr. You can see there's like a bit of webbing. Possibly needed to print some of these with supports and just didn't. Know that better for next time. Definitely going to do a lot of troubleshooting off camera. Only going to stream like once a week until I get these things kind of figured out. Oh, that was a good click. I don't know, chat, do you hear that click? You have to tune in next week for more clicks. My plan was to stop at 7 Eastern time. We're at 7:02 now. You just see how this. Yeah, let me just throw this guy on there so that I don't have something loose laying around, and then we'll call it for the stream. I hope, you know, looks like we have 2 views on Twitter, X, and so if you guys are out there listening, I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's been fun. Had some setbacks with, you know, like my internet and streaming in general, but yeah, I've learned a lot. I have a lot of actionable items that I'm gonna do for next stream. This has been really fun. Had a blast. This is not nesting in. Yeah, I'm probably at the. I think I'm just gonna reprint this whole part. Yeah, the gear. I mean, that clicked in kind of fine. It's doing a little better. There's some teeth on this gear that I might just have to file them if I really want to use it, and if not, I might just have to abandon this print and reprint it. It's really not that big a deal. Does not take long to print. I just need to figure out what my issues were. Get the lock washer on here. Come on, big meaty claws, you can do it. We're almost at the final stretch. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. I don't even have the other side supported yet. Let me just run this through. This one does not need to be long. And this one, I'm probably going to use the lock washer or the lock nut because there's not a lot of space over here to work with. Oh, you know what? That's fantastic. I don't even know. Yeah, I think there's so many distortions on this print. No, it's driving through. Okay, but yeah, out of desperation for this one, there's not a lot of space. So I'm going to use a 3mm lock nut. Got this guy on the needle nose pliers. We're going in. I really need to give myself as much space as possible. I guess next time, probably do a different sequence here because with the servo in here right now, this is like insane and impossible to do. But I think I'll be able to get it to work. Oh, you know what? Maybe I won't. I think I can. Let me unplug the hot glue gun. It's putting off some serious heat. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, chat, do you believe in me? Is anyone out there believing in me? I'm going to need all of your support for this. This is the last assembly step for the day. And I surely made it harder for myself than I needed to. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So I'm going to unscrew this a little bit. So that I really have some space here. This is, let me just do a quick sanity check. It looks like an M3 lock nut. And it is. Okay, good. And this screwdriver is not quite ideal. I might actually use these like precision little needle grabber guys. It's just I can't hold it as tight. Or as precisely. You know what? The screw that I used, I'm pretty disappointed in myself. The screw that I used for the servo is getting in the way. Pretty sure it was the wrong screw. And now I can't get the lock nut in. That's another mission of, my recent efforts on like getting familiar with the hardware of this project again, is that I need to figure out what are the exact pieces of hardware to use for this project. Let me just take this whole side off. And we're not going down without a fight. We're gonna do it, chat. So the head of this, I was pretty sure this is one of the flatter screws I have for this particular sort of thing. But there's tinier out there. This guy. This is my tiniest little screw guy. It's a super tiny head. It's gonna screw in there real tight. It's gonna get nested like right inside of the like flange opening for the servo there. It's completely clear and open. I'm gonna do the difficult side first. Gonna eat the frog. Move this guy over. Oh, YouTube's not maintaining enough for a smooth stream. Maybe Comcast doesn't want me to do this stream anymore, but I'm not giving up until I get this wrist on. All right, we are latched. We are doing fantastic. We've got this lock nut biting and going on. We'll need to do it too tight. And we get a lot of liberty because we're using bearings here. So I'm gonna use what I've got when I can. Gonna make it, plenty tight, but not too tight. All right, I don't need to screw this one in all the way by hand. I can M3 hardware this guy. There we go. That's just what I needed. Okay, so now I'm gonna use precision grabbies. That was not what I wanted. It's good that fell off because I didn't put the lock washer on here anyway. There we go, chat. Lock washer's on. We're gonna claw this one with the claws. That one's going on just fine. Good stuff. Gonna clamp it. Use the electric screwdriver. Driver home. There we go. Okay, chat. Look at that, chat. You hear that? You see that here? No, you don't see that because my face is in the way. I need to move this whole operation a little to the east. There we go. Boom. Causing unnecessary harm to that servo, but for a very good cause. Okay, well, you know, this took a ridiculous amount of time to make such little progress, but we've made progress, and we're here now. And I've had a lot of fun streaming. I've learned a lot, and I'm gonna stream again next Thursday at 5 p.m. or maybe like a little after. I get done work at 5, so you know, maybe around 5:15 is when I'll actually get started. But we're gonna call that for today, and definitely gonna delete this if it posts to anywhere afterwards. This is ephemeral or ethereal or whatever. This is it. So thank you everyone out there. Have a good evening, and I will catch you next time.